Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where we are going to try to finish the 64 Le Mans. We have a ton of work to do on this. Yes, it's painted. The hard part's done, right? Not so fast. We needed a complete interior. It's gutted. All the trim has to be put back on the car. Detail work is what this video will be, plus a complete upholstery job. I'm definitely not someone who's very ADD, but you should prepare for a little bit of it. We have to kind of just bounce all over this thing. I'm starting with the glove box door. Why? Why not? Reassemble the glove box door, the glove box latch, then we can move on to something else maybe. Oh, we need the emblem on the dash. See? Everything just falls together. You might note that I forgot to order a glove box for my glove box door. We'll get that some other time. Now, I did buy a lot of new stuff for the interior, but I kind of tried to make up for that by reusing a lot of the trim and emblems and things. This deck lid crest is not great. It's pretty pitted and I don't know, not the best, but I want to try to make it as good as we can, right? You wouldn't believe it, but this little crest here is about $75. I bought one for the hood because I broke that one pulling it off. Also, you might be wondering why I'm not wet sanding the car right now and polishing it. It's only been like 3 days since I painted it, so it's just not ready. We could go ahead and do pretty much everything else since the car only needs a real light wet sand. You need to wait about a week after paint. You know, I do. I want it cured all the way through. I'm not taking that risk. Anyway, we need to do accent work. What does that mean? Well, you see how that's black in here, and in between all of these fins is also supposed to be black. There's not a lot of sense of putting this stuff back on looking like this. These are the louvers for the quarter panel of the car, and originally they're body color. I don't really care for that. It's chrome underneath the paint, so I'm going to clean off the chrome there and then paint black inside the louver. So as you look down the car, it's, you know, it kind of looks like they're functional. And these are the quarter panel emblems. Well, this is the one I have. I don't know where the other one went. Maybe it was always missing. I'm usually pretty good about storing all of my parts. I had them all in that ammo can there. Such is the danger when you take a car apart and leave it apart for a month or two. You tend to forget, or at least I do. I gotta pull the Pontiac emblem out of this grill. We're gonna need to repaint the white in the letters and also the black around it. And then that'll also let us paint the grill. We got a lot of, it's just BS stuff. There is one kind of important thing to note here. Steel wool is usually your friend when it comes to cleaning trim and stuff like that, but not on stuff like this. This is anodized aluminum. You take steel wool to this, you're going to scratch the hell out of it. You'll have to try to remember which hole that goes in. You know, a lot of times it shows and stuff, you can see who didn't look up pictures of what their car looked like. It could be over here, it could be over here, you could even put it up here or down here. Hell, from the factory, they probably came in half a dozen different places. Prepping for paint on chrome stuff or pop metal like this, I don't go too crazy, just a little rough it up with a little Scotch-Brite, you know, just so it has a chance at sticking. Now, masking, I'm not going to be doing any of that either. We'll just spray it and then wipe off what we don't want with some thinner. Here's what most of this is going to look like. I'm just going to spray the area I want black, like that, and then we'll come in with a rag with some thinner on it, wipe off the excess. Likewise with these emblems, we got to get the letters black and the checkers black, so just spray the whole thing, then we'll just wipe off the excess. You can even do it while it's wet, like this. What I do here is spray a little white spray paint in a paint cap, and take a brush, just let it flow in. Hope you guys were ready for the Bob Ross portion of the program. Make some happy little clouds in here. Pontiac crest for the trunk isn't perfect, but it looks a lot better. And I'll have to wet sand around it and stuff, but I don't care. I want the car to look more gooder for now. Progress. These are the louvers that go on the quarters of the car. I got them soaking in some thinner now to strip the paint. The paint has protected them so well, I'm just going to leave them chrome. I think that would look better. And then I'll paint this inside lip black. Just like that, then we'll clean them off, put all those on. Those are really going to make the quarters pop. They go right in front of the rear wheel over here. One grill insert looking good. Louvers are all painted and cleaned off. I even got one of them installed. I don't mean to brag. Yes. Look at that. That look good. Not bad for just some spray paint and a little elbow grease. I just noticed every single headlight in this thing is in crooked. So I'm going to be fixing that while we're here too. That's disgusting. It's something that drives me up the wall. See this little nub that's molded into the glass here? I'm not sure what the deal is with this one, but it doesn't lock in straight up and down. Let me go try to find another one. I thought he'd just put them all in crooked. That one was, and I straightened it up. I just grabbed another headlight to verify. He goes in crooked. What the hell for? I don't understand that at all. I'm gonna try to put it in straight up and down. Even though it's not like gonna be like perfectly centered, it'll look better and I'll be happier. Our grills are in. Headlight bezels are in. That looks tremendous. That's kind of what makes this car, you know. You gotta do the tail panel. You know, they repop these things. These are pretty rough. That's why I left them black around inside there to kind of cover up the pitting. They do repop these. They are $1,500 for the set. And that's just never gonna happen. So these are good enough. Tail panel is assembled. Still missing the handle for the gas store. I have to keep an eye out for one of those. But it looks good. Jess is putting in sound deadener. We might actually jump to a headliner after you get done with that.
Yeah.
Try to get a headliner in this thing. I think it's got the bows in it. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put all the louvers on the quarter panels. Oh, and weather strips. And 1,000 other things. Louvers are on. Sound deadener's in. These are the headliner bows. And you just got the last one out. It's been a long time since I put a headliner in a car, so don't expect much out of this, but I'll give it a shot. They're cheap, so, you know, if I screw this up, then I'll just buy another one, pay someone who knows what the hell they're doing to put it in. We'll get started on that, but I want to finish the door handles. I got the locks in. GM door handles are very basic. It's just a pusher. That's it. They came with new gaskets and bolts and everything, so we just slap it together. Now we gotta roll the window up. We're gonna install our gaskets. Door handle in place. I got the premium door handle kit from Ames Performance. Nothing but the finest. Simple as that. A lot of auto manufacturers had much more complicated and I'm sure better designs. That works pretty good. I'm scared to start doing the headliner, so I'm going to finish this trunk weather strip first. I've made myself a little tool here. It's a screwdriver with some masking tape over the end of it to keep me from stabbing through it. We just take some weather strip adhesive, push it down in this gutter here, and then we just push our weather strip under the lip of the trunk gutter. Pretty much all of your aftermarket weather strips are going to be cut to fit. I always start in the middle with one end. And we run all the way around and then meet them right in the middle, just so things stay symmetrical. I have to put a little masking tape on this corner here just to kind of help hold it in place. There we go. Front weather strip done. Cowl weather strip done. Still kind of procrastinating on the headliner. Thing is that headliner's kind of got to go in before anything else. Otherwise there'll be a bunch of crap in the way and it'll suck. Worse than it's already going to suck. I also made a really stupid decision and got a white headliner. Here's my headliner. It's white. Dangerous. But I thought it would look kind of cool. And it will, if I can do it. You have to put the bows in. There's a specific order to them. They have to go in the same way they came out. So thankfully they were all in the car. I've got to get this bow all the way up through this sleeve. This is not easy, and I'm not good at it. So, you know, you can make fun of me or whatever. That's fine. Got to get it on here, and we want it to be equal. And then we have to trim this sleeve. You see how this sleeve is actually longer than the rod? Well, that's because you're meant to cut this sleeve back where the roof bends. Because if you don't, it'll just have like a hard angle to it. So if you cut it like kind of right in the bend of this bow here, right there. And we just relieve that. Now it can hang. And whenever you put it in there, it'll make more of a gentle curve rather than like a harsh angle. Learned that one the hard way. Or I'm completely wrong, and I did it wrong the first time, 10 years ago, or whatever the last time was when I put an A-body headliner in. Probably do like the first 3, which will get us past here. And then we should be able to just feed them in the car. I think it would be more manageable that way. One bow snapped in here, just like that. If you want to get under here with me in my tent. And we can...
It's a fort party.
We can kind of guess what our angle's going to look like back here. That looks pretty good. I think it'll be okay. I have my scissors so I can run with them, please, and get this over with. Like that. You can pay a shop to put these in for like $100. So, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would be paying a shop to put this in. So you guys just take that for what it's worth. This little guy, I think I should put like a slot in that.
I think probably.
I think so too. I just realized that I'm dumb. Surprise. Rather than try to shove this entire dome light through, I could simply shove a couple of wires through instead. And then I make small hole rather than big hole. This one is this really thin little bail here. Like these here are stabby, and so they actually stab the whole headliner all the way across. I mean, there's like 4 different iterations of headliner bow in this car. Maybe it was a prototype. Stabby. Stabby. How are we looking? Horrible.
Oh.
God, I'm so bad at this. I think we're getting somewhere. Make a hole for sun visors, and I figure, oop, that's probably too big. But I figure if we put the sun visors in, that'll kind of hold it, you know, where it's gonna be. You know, like a rear view mirror and all that, we can pull it tight, screw the sun visors down, and then work our way back again. Front half of it's gonna look a little better. I ordered a new dome light too, so I poked the wires through, but I'll wait till we get our new one to finish that. Spray a little glue on this leading edge up here. Pull it tight, I guess. Go ahead and shoot self-tappers into this. Not bad.
I think that's pretty good.
I don't have the slightest idea where this goes. See, if you recall, this car was very, very rusty under here. I mean, it's bad. I could throw a dog through this thing. That's why I want to put a headliner in it very badly, is so I don't have to look at it. Because if I hide it, it's not there. Okay, yeah, that's exactly where that goes. As we all know, obviously. And now we have to finish this off with windlace. Put our windlace on. This is what actually holds the headliner in. That'll finish off the front edge. It looks terrible, but you know, it is good enough for who it's for, I guess. Well, it's really coming along. It looks like shit. But you know what it looks better than? The guy who didn't try. There's a moral there. Hire a professional. There's parts of it that look okay. I just have no clue what the hell I'm doing. Moving on, I can install this. The factory style sound deadening board divides the trunk and the passenger compartment. It's cardboard. I paid money for this.
And threw away the cardboard box
Yeah,
it
no
came
shit.
in.
The box it came in would have been perfectly adequate. There. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of an interior guy. Starting off kind of slow today. More work to do. Let me show you how to refinish old panels. Use a quality vinyl dye or interior paint like this, which, as much as I hate the cans that these come in, it is a good quality paint. It'll hold up for years. You can just see the difference there. Why buy new when you could just refresh it? Once again, delaying the inevitable and not working on the interior, I forgot that I needed to put the wheel well moldings on, so got both the fronts on. This must mean we at least half-ass made that wheel well lip correctly. Remember how that was homemade? So this one's kind of sticking out. I can bend that to fit a little better. We got to make them look better than this. The steel wool works pretty good on these. You know, it's like new again. All our rocker moldings, wheel well moldings are all installed now. I think I'll continue to procrastinate on the interior and try to install the door weather stripping. It's almost as much fun as the trunk weather stripping. The good thing is it's a sedan, which makes it quite a bit easier. There's only one spot for it to go, and it's got these little push pin things that hold the majority of it on, so you don't need to use a bunch of glue for most of it. You do have to glue this whole top section in. Normally I am complaining about the fitment of aftermarket parts. These steel rubber products, these weather strips, talk about exact fit. They are perfect. That's very impressive, and they were much cheaper than the alternative. Now I do want to point one thing out. When I go to shut this door, it's not going to be very happy. So you might panic, and then you like try to readjust the door and stuff. Just wait, just let it shut and be a door slammer for a while. So I don't care what any company says, this stuff breaks down pretty quickly. And so you want it to smash a few times, then readjust your door. Actually, it's just about right. Never mind, it's perfect. Good quality product. Definitely getting on the interior soon, trust me. For sure. But let me just put these window felts in. Now these could be kind of a trick. These are your window felts. This is the outer one, and it actually screws in on the outside, and your inner one is literally felt. Easier if you have the window out, but obviously we're gonna try to do it with the window in the car. There. Well, it took me like an hour to put these window felts in and do a really poor job of it. So I'm just going to put that off for a while because I'm kind of burned out on it. Let's put some carpet in the car. That'll be an easy win. Sometimes you need those easy wins, you know, whenever you realize you are completely out of talent. Do something you know you can do and get your confidence back. That way you can be crushed again. There's our carpet. I usually go with Auto Custom Carpet. They always seem to have a pretty good product, and we are going to have plenty of trimming to do around the shifter and such. The good thing is I don't have to be perfect, and that's because I spent a lot of money on a 4-speed console for this car. So that is a relief. You actually put the back carpet in first, and then the front carpet just overlays it. It's 2 pieces. And then also, you know, like start all your bolts and stuff. That way you can see where they're at. You can cut them easy. When you're doing it this way, there's a couple of different ways you get your holes. One, you can put your carpet in and then poke something up through the bottom to get your holes, like heat up a screwdriver or something. Or, if you're good at guessing, which I sometimes am, I just cut across right on top of the bolt. You gotta get all the way through that jute padding there, but just like that. And that makes a hole that's exactly the size of the bolt. It does have the optional front seat belts. No rears, you know, the kids are dead. So I'll put those in, and I'm gonna just install this just so that it'll kind of help hold everything in place. I've only got one right now because I just wanted to see what they were like. They're just kind of like a universal, almost aircraft style seat belt, and I don't hate it, so went ahead and ordered 3 more, and we'll put some in the back too, you know, so the kids can have a shot, I guess. Well, I got the carpet in here kind of roughly laid out. I need to put our kick panels in. We refinished earlier. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. Once the seats are in it, that's going to hold it down, and I think it's going to look good. It's probably one of the better fitting carpet kits I've put in, actually. So I just realized we're missing all the wind lace for the car. It goes here. Here, it covers that pinch weld. I'll have to order some more of that. I got to install these kick panels with self-tappers, just like the factory did. Can I push this? Oh, God.
What? Oh,
There's a screw that's supposed to go behind it.
I wouldn't try it.
No?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Well, I guess it's not going to lock them up too much. Never happened.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we could actually get that to work one of these days. You need to put that on the list.
One of the cars?
Well,
Or only car?
It's a stick, so.
Oh,
We could
yeah.
really use it in this one. The other thing we have is sill plates. So again, I'm missing this damn windlays here, so these are going to be kind of temporary, but these hold the edges of the carpet down. Carpet in these cars doesn't glue in, it just is held in by the trim and stuff. So don't go slathering everything in glue. There's no reason to do that at all. You might notice on your sill plate over there, kind of looks like something's missing in the middle, doesn't it?
Yep.
You know why?
Because there's a sticker.
Well, it's supposed to be a riveted plate, but the thing is, if you're a cheap bastard like me, you could buy the non-licensed sill plate for much less, and then buy the stickers for like $1. And it's a metal sticker, goes right in the middle there, and nobody's ever the wiser. See that?
Yeah.
Never know.
Never would know.
Behold, my favorite thing, a 4-speed console for this car. Now, I did cut a little bit of a corner here. It's plastic. Well, this part's metal, but the rest of it's plastic. Because if you buy it all in die cast, it's like $2,000. This was $700, just like this, from the parts place. So it's still a shit ton of money. I don't think anybody's ever gonna know. It won't bother me none, that's for sure. But I do think we need to mask off the chrome and then spray the sides the blue color of the interior, probably. JD's masking off the chrome on the console. I'm putting in the trim for the door panels. I bought new trim for the rear door panels, but not the fronts. I don't know why. Don't question my judgment. I kind of forgot. I have a vacuum gauge for this. Does it work? I don't know. But
Cool anyways.
while you've got it masked off, I'm gonna just drill a couple holes for it, and then we can just bolt it on. At least it'll, you know, look like something.
Yeah.
It's a factory vacuum gauge. Would have been an option on these cars, so it's kind of cool. Now the thing is, anytime you're drilling plastic, it's not a bad idea to put some masking tape down. It'll prevent the plastic from splintering. Not a huge fan of drilling holes in my $800 console or however much it was, but
It's whatever.
yeah, it's just whatever. Yeah, it's just money. Yeah, I've got just piles of that.
Yeah.
Check that out. That's cool as shit. I love that. I hate that it's bolted to plastic, but I love that. We'll just ignore that.
Let's go spray it, I guess.
Yeah, let's spray it. It's really hard to cover black with a vinyl dye, even a good one. That's working better than I thought it was going to.
We'll have to use a lot.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 coats, but it is. I was expecting it to not work at all, so
It's worth it, though.
yeah. Yeah, we got plenty. This will look a lot better than leave it black,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Look at these babies. Those are nice. Really nice. So I had to get the door panels from 2 different companies. I got the rear ones from Distinctive Industries, and the front ones are from Legendary Automotive. I think the blues are a little bit different, but I don't think it's anything I can't live with. I think they fit.
Yeah. That fits really good, actually.
Oh yeah, no, that's really nice. You know what my favorite part about these are?
What?
It's got knockouts for the window cranks. Remember us doing that Corvette a while back? We had to find everything. I didn't realize for a $500 door panel, if they don't cut the holes for you, you have to cut the holes in the $500 door panel. The holes back here are bigger than what you need to cut out.
What?
Why would they do that? All we do for that is just take a box knife,
Ruined.
and it's trash. Cut an X in it, like that. And now, I mean, you can cut them bigger if you want, but I'm always too nervous to do that. So. Getting it up in here might be a trick.
At least it's a tight fit, though.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
Boom.
Cool. That's really easy.
Now, of course, we need the damn windlace for the edge of this thing. I forgot to order that earlier, of course. Now, see, that's the thing, when you gotta build something from scratch, you're always gonna forget stuff. Here's my rear armrest. I think I'm just gonna buy new ones.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty bad.
It doesn't really match anything, you know. New window crank. the spring and washer and how we think they go on. I guess for $600, you got to put your own trim on.
Yeah.
And cut your own holes on these. But got to salvage the old trim off the other old door panels, as well as the suspiciously Thunderbird looking Pontiac crest. If you look at it like this, it looks just like a 60s Ford Thunderbird emblem.
It does.
I'm not a huge fan of this drilling holes in my $600 door panels, but it looks like
Why?
you got it.
Yeah.
I'll just leave this stuff to you. Somebody needs to do upholstery. I'll go screw this one up over here.
Okay.
Gotta drill holes. Those marks there. There we go. I only got one stud to work with though, so I guess I'll have to find some kind of glue. That's never worked well in the past. Hey, you know what else they don't have, JD?
What?
They don't have any knockouts for the freaking clips that hold them onto the door. Oh, they do, but they're like underneath the fabric and glue.
That's awesome.
What the hell? Well, what do you expect for that kind of money, you know? We got our lower trim on. It doesn't fit the new door panel. The new door panel is too thick. It's a different kind of cardboard, apparently. Now we're going to epoxy the emblem in. I could buy new emblems, but I just kind of feel like I've spent enough money. We'll try some of this Harbor Freight epoxy that is actually pretty good. I don't mind this stuff. Mix it up in equal parts, and it sets up quick. Probably not a whole lot, just...
No, probably not.
You know, when I was in school,
Yep.
I always got in trouble all the time in art class because I used too much glue on everything.
Same with me, actually.
Yeah. And everything was always just a complete sloppy mess.
Yeah.
I'd use like a whole glue stick on something. It'll never come apart. Yeah.
Just hold pressure on it.
Yeah, I'll be just let it sit
Yeah.
flat. It should be okay. The piece de la resistance. Oh, wow. Good thing I put that vacuum gauge.
Yeah.
Shit. Oops.
That's not great. You should have put, like, right here.
Yep. Aha. Yeah, see, take two on that. Yeah. Good thing is that's so far up under the dash, nobody will be able to see it. Perfect.
Yeah. That is very perfect.
Yeah, it's almost like that hole that was clearly cut out in it was for that or something, you know?
No.
Nah, probably not. Hey, everybody, take your guess. How am I going to hold the console down? Self-tapping screws. Well, our epoxy seems to be working, more or less. There's only one armrest hole, so I guess we just mount one and then guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess just hold it up, and the armrest screws are self-tapping, so they'll drill their way through. But you know what the real pain in the ass is on your, $600 door panels? Well, they clip onto the door, right? They covered up all the clip holes with vinyl. They're under there, but you got to go searching for them and peel apart this $600 door panel. Well, $300, I guess. I got two on my side, and you found two?
Yep.
They make the damn thing too thick. It doesn't fit.
Could you bend the top out?
Yeah, we'll probably have to. Stupid. That one lines up. It doesn't go up high enough because it won't fit in there. So it catches on the bottom.
When you shut the door.
Yeah. Well, we've just determined that putting screws in the bottom and having it held in on top will be good enough. It rubs on the sill plate, which is cool. It's made too wide and it's made too tall, and you can't use clips to hold it on because they don't line up and you can't access them anyway. I guess if you're gonna buy door panels, the back door panels are Legendary Auto Interior and they fit perfect. The front door panels were Distinctive Industries, and I would avoid them like the plague. Try PUI or Legendary for your interior stuff. Learn from me. This one fit a little better, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Not much better, though. It's still, I mean, look, it's a freaking inch, it's an inch too long. I don't know, what are you going to do? But we got our armrest bases on. I'm waiting for the pads still. I forgot to order those. Hopefully they'll be in time for this video, but if not, just, imagine they're there. Hey, at least these are done. Time for one of the worst jobs you will ever do. Seat upholstery. These seats are in horrifically poor condition. We're gonna have to replace the foams and the covers. Step one here is get the seats separated. You get the two halves apart, which is just a couple of Phillips screws on these, I think. Let's go ahead and figure out what I forgot. I think I need to get these tracks out of my way. I don't know if I don't know if I need to, but seems like taking them off, cleaning them up, and making sure they work may not be a bad idea. They're pretty crusty. Pull this off. Ah, good lord. Oh good, it's full of rat shit. Ah, there we go. Want to get in here and take a pair of side cutters or something and cut all the hog rings off. Now I don't actually like try to cut through them. Well, most of these have already removed themselves, but like if you just get a bite on a hog ring and just kind of give it a twist, they come off and it's a lot easier on your hands. Gross. Jesus. I would have gone with like an aftermarket Recaro seat or something like that, but I'm kind of picky on my old cars, and I think they need to have their original seats or an original styled seat. I can't help but feel I should probably be wearing some sort of respirator. That's gross. Well, let me get this as clean as I can. You know, the good thing is the springs actually look like they're in okay shape. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I'm sure there's some broken ones in here someplace, but I'll show you how to fix those the way I fix them. You know, your mileage may vary. We got two broken springs right on the front here. We're going to use some mechanics wire. I'm just going to kind of put it back where it's supposed to go, and then we're just going to tie it back together, and that's going to work just fine. Now the spring has got its strength-ish back. It's not perfect. I mean, if you wanted to do this perfect, you'd probably replace all of it, but we don't have the ability to do that. Just gonna get it nice and tight on there with a pair of pliers. I mean, they use this stuff to hold airplanes together. I think it'll work on this spring. It's time to put new foam on this bad boy. Now, traditionally, you would put down some burlap or something, but this already has some like reinforcement glued to it. I think it'll be okay. We could probably skip that step. It's gonna go on something like this. These little flaps here are just what you hog ring to. Got these foams from American Cushion Industries. They were really good to work with. I had accidentally ordered the incorrect foam, and they called me to verify that I got the right one. So they really saved the day there. We're gonna hog ring this. I know all the rage these days is to use zip ties instead of hog rings, but I'm not too worried. My mitts are pretty calloused and rough as it is, so squeezing some hog rings on don't really bother me. Hog ring pliers here, just like that. Boom. I'll do that about 100 more times. This is the worst part about any of these things, is this little guy here. This here has to tuck down in the foam in here. So I have to roll this thing inside out. I'm going to use these rods that are probably supposed to go somewhere else. Put them in here. Then we tuck it down. Something like that. Somehow get our hog ring down in here. Try to grab something. And I did. I got a spring, I think. So you don't have to do a whole bunch of those, but I mean at least 3 or 4 all the way back, like kind of one in the middle and one in the very back, and that's going to make your bolsters of your seat. This is something that took me a very, very long time to figure out. Bolsters are attached, allegedly, not terribly well, but they are there. Turned right side out again. Oh yeah, this will work good. Kind of been letting these covers sit out in the sun so that they're a little more pliable. I'm going to hook that down to that wire. That's going to look really good. Alright, we're going to start from the middle, work our way out, and hopefully that'll help us prevent any wrinkles, but if it has wrinkles, they'll wear out eventually. Got our tracks back on, and boom. That's one cushion. Happy with that. Those foams make all the difference in the world. That makes recovering easier than disassembly, actually. It's onto the back part of the seat. I think your best friend here is probably your camera, because otherwise you might find yourself scratching your head. This is a little different than most seats I've done. Most seats have a separate backing piece. This one, you actually tie the front and back of the cover together. Every mouse lived in this seat. There was the front door right there. Still trying to get this seat back apart. Just trying to tear apart that one. I think it honest to God, takes longer to take them apart than to put them back together. They're so freaking nasty. Delicious. I think I see a quarter. Oh, nope, it's a walnut. Could have been a squirrel living in there. You never know.
I would have hoped for a squirrel, but that tells me probably not.
There's a giant pile of turds. Delicious. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to get this on. Making a little progress. You found a mummified mouse.
His friend.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, God. These are the worst seats I've ever been around. They're bad. Remember all those pictures I took of how to put this seat back together? Yeah, I don't know how to do it. So, I'm just going to use zip ties and self-tappers. Zip tied this two halves together down there. The chrome covers up the edge here. And then I'm just going to shoot a screw through the vinyl. I mean, honestly, I think that's fine. There they go. Aha! It's a little extra padded, but...
Yeah?
I think it's alright. Doesn't look bad, does it?
No, not at all.
That looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's homemade. So I bought new seat arm covers here, but I only bought enough for one seat. I saw quantity 2 and thought 2 seats. I was wrong. So we'll put the one that faces outside on each seat, have a brand new shiny one, and then put a kind of crappier one on the inside. Looks like a seat.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't perfect. You got a little of the inside showing. I don't care. I want to drive my car. Of course, I don't have a windshield, so I don't get to. But I mean, at least we have seats. At least I can pretend to drive it. Teach JD about the pleasures of hog rigging. Well, I figured if we put some wires down in these grooves like this, then I could tie the seat cover to the wire. It'd be a little easier. Yes. Yes. You ready to have arthritis? Right. We got that seat bottom done. Not bad. And then we're going to get this done too. We have a small problem. The car came with the back half of the seat, and it's in, well, really, really poor condition. I could probably work with it, but it didn't come with the bottom half at all. I had the bottom half out of the Sky Goat, the original seat for it, out here, which is very gross. And it doesn't fit. A 67 seat is narrower. I think I have one other option, maybe? Never mind my neighbors that are having a party right now. It's okay, we'll wake them up with a car later at 3 in the morning. I think this 4-door has a seat bottom in it somewhere. That is the back of the front seat, not the seat bottom. Shit. This 64 Buick has a back seat in it. This is a future project, you'll see. I think. Yeah, there it is. This should be the same seat bottom as that Le Mans.
That's perfect.
It's in really good shape. I mean, there's no cover on it, but we could just put a cover on that and good. Same with the bottom. Load up. Time to play Pack Mule.
Yeah.
Or you can bring the key up here.
I'll just go bring the key over.
All right. My neighbors hate me, so might as well just go ahead and fire up this school bus. Yeah. Mice that are coming out of the tailpipe of this thing. At least they'll be dead now. Back to the shop. There we go, another one. Some wrinkles in this one, but overall it's actually nicer. See, we learn on the second one. Do we go back and fix the first one? Hell no! We just have to cover the back seat now, which should be easier, relatively. Which one of these is which, I wonder? I don't know if it needs foam.
I don't think it does.
I don't think they had it. I think it just... Oh, yeah, it does.
It does need foam?
Yeah. Originally it had that like burlap. Oh, here it is.
You could put it back
You know
in.
what that is?
What?
It's horsehair.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So the problem is I got foam, but
Thick.
that's real thick. Okay, don't screw it up if you're gonna do it. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. No pressure. It's the only foam we have. Don't screw it up.
It's not gonna
Don't screw it up.
Can't cut it though.
Oh, any better scissors?
Yeah.
I don't know where the good scissors went. I don't know how I managed to lose things. I think this will work. It'll be comfy.
Yeah.
If we can make it work. The back seat is way easier to cover than the front seats. There's nothing to it. You just hook it to these holes right here. Do the front first and then stretch over the back. It's not great, but the foam is too thick. Definitely can't blame anything but that.
Makes it look tight though.
It does. It's freaking shit. I could sleep on that. It may have thrown off like where this seam goes, but
Yeah. Without the foam, it would be.
it'd be up here.
Yeah.
But that matches the front seat, which I also installed incorrectly. The back of the back seat, it's in remarkably good condition. I think we just throw that right on it.
It'd probably be fine.
It would not be fine. We've resorted to repurposing a lot of the original foam, cutting out like kind of the bad parts, and then splicing in this. It doesn't quite fit as good as we had hoped. Thankfully this stuff is relatively mouse poop free. This is pretty much a pro job now. Just gonna kind of smooth out the upholstery with rags. It's a pretty high dollar restoration. We're all lumpy, and we're still all lumpy, but the rags kind of help spread it out so that it hides, you know? You can't buy a seat foam kit for the back seat of these cars. It's just that piece of foam that I bought. That's the seat foam kit. That's enough to do one cushion. And I'm impatient, so this is good enough. This one's been kind of a bugger, but here, stretch the bottom out. My knees are saying no more to being on the ground.
No.
No.
We'll get that
The
later.
next ones will
Yeah.
relieve that. It's not great, but well, it's better than no seat at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to test fit it.
Oh, thank God.
Huh?
Thank God.
What? Oh, it fits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. We never checked, did we? Oh, this stuff will smooth out with sunlight. It fits, though.
Yeah.
We'll have to find where the holes were to bolt it down. I think some self-tappers will take care of that.
Yeah.
And we'll get like a trim tool to shove that down in there. It just wedges in between the seat. It's cool. It looks good, though. Alright, back out today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, guys. I've been feeling it. It's not the rat poop this time. It's just that time of the year, you know. There's no holes to bolt a seat to here. Naturally, after I drilled holes, I realized that there are hooks on the back of this seat that hook into the back part of the back seat. Just holds the whole thing in. There. Like that. So as long as I get this snapped in, yeah, boom. Done. It looks really cushy. I don't know. How does it feel? That's not bad. Yeah. Let's see. You gotta line the studs up on the inside rear corner on these seats. Hell yeah, dude. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. I gotta tell you, this is where the fruits of your labor really come into play. You see the car taking shape, and you know, hell, it ain't perfect, but damn if it ain't better than it was when we started, isn't it? If you haven't built a car, and if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you are at least interested in it, I would highly advise you give it a shot, you know. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just do the best you can, and then get to see what you did. You know, this is me. I did this. I created this. Those satisfactions are permanent. And it's good for your mind, you know, it's good for your mental health. You may have noticed my fancy floor mats here. You know, you figure, you know, hey, it's just something you're going to put your feet on, right? Yeah, they're $300. Yeah, might have splurged a little. It's fine. Definitely not going to lose the shop. Needed them, though. I mean, come on. They're freaking cool. Last piece for now. Yeah. Oh, seats are in. Nice and comfy. Steel wool makes pretty quick work of polishing up the chrome on the dash and, well, anywhere else you need it. Like the shifter. Should have done this before, but
Yeah.
I forgot. We're going to dump the steering wheel. We're going to change the tack out for something a little more period correct. I'm going to keep an eye out for a set of gauges that look right, too. I just don't have nothing at the moment. I don't want new ones. I'm going to clean up this instrument cluster. I mean, there's only so much we can do with that. I'll just have to keep an eye out for a good repop or something like that. Change that out later. I shouldn't have cleaned those off. Now you can just see the gauges that are terrible. Yeah, nothing happened here. It just came right off. It's not like I broke one of the steering wheel puller bolts off in the steering wheel, then had to drill it out and then barely got it off. No, that definitely never happened. I'm a true professional. Anyway, let's go ahead and put our new steering wheel on. This is not a Grant steering wheel, actually. It's the 500 steering wheel. It's a superior wheel. It's an old one from back in the day. They're pretty dang cool. However, I know the wheels aren't that turned, are they?
No, they're straight.
Must be a difference between the Grant and this wheel. Because that, yeah, the hole's at a different spot. Let's just eliminate that. We don't, I mean, look, the horn didn't work anyway. Well, there we go. Oh yeah, horn button.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, the horn button. I hate Grant horn buttons.
Push and twist. That's all you have to do.
Oh yeah, that's what the instructions say. You do just push and twist. You know, like, this is what always happens, and then it's spring-loaded and
Yeah.
shoots you in the mouth while you're driving. You line up the little divots on the cap with the little divots on this fiber ring here. And you just shove it on and twist, right? Holy crap.
You got it. Wait.
No. I almost got it. Oh, there you go. What? How's that going?
Oh, it's going great.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
Easy.
So you just line them up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, give it a twist. And,
Oh.
and then it pops right off.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. I love them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're great. I love the spring, too. 72 years later, I got it. That's cool. I like that a lot better. I mean, it looks nice, at least. I have a new tack to put in. Look at this. That's an oldie there. Cool one. Made in USA. Does it work? I have no idea. But it is cool looking. And I'm going to put it in. It's Performance Instruments. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be way better.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if she works.
Yeah. See. It sticks a little bit. There it goes. I'll try to hook up the vacuum gauge. Hook it up to manifold vacuum. See if it works. Or if it leaks internally and has a horrific vacuum leak. Either way, we got it for looks, if nothing else, but it'd be cool if it would function. There it goes. Nice. Much better.
Yeah.
We vacuum it up now, it doesn't wind up in our lungs when we drive down the road.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the Kragers. Oh yeah. Got some overspray on the Kragers. Cover them up as best as you can, but it'll still work its way in there. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to look. She's about as good as it's going to get until we wet sand, but hell, it hasn't even been a week since I painted the car.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that yet. We'll save that for another video. Interior's pretty nice in here. I'm waiting on a windshield. It should be here this week. I don't think it's going to be here in time for this video. I still want to drive the car. I just want to drive it down the road, just once. I don't care if I get some bugs in my teeth. This is going to help my head cold a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't have the dead cat on that mic.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Oh, well.
Looks cool. Looks so shiny, the dash.
Something flew off in the ditch. Oh, the package tray.
Oh.
Shit. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, don't let this blow at me.
Yeah.
Jeez. Made it back just in time for the Sky Goat to show up. Let's go fetch our Sky Goat, shall we? I wanted to drive this more, but then the package tray blowing out made me realize that the headliner doesn't have the dome light, and I didn't install it very good, and so it'll probably also rip out of the car.
Oh.
So maybe we wait till there's glass in it. But I got to drive it down the road. That makes me happy.
Yep.
Very happy.
Guess who's back?
I was really hoping to never see this again. This is Kevin.
How's it going, guys?
He's he foolishly offered to haul this home, and me being who I am, I of course accepted his offer every time. Never offer me anything unless you're serious. Thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And that is Cruising with Kevin on YouTube. Also, he's got duct tape drags footage and stuff like that. I know that much. I saw those videos, but I think he's got more than that too.
Just whatever cars I can get my hands on or whatever I have at the time I goof around with.
Well, let's get this pile unloaded. Well, anyway, guys, thanks to Kevin for hauling the Sky Goat home. And thanks for watching me build a car I really like. I can't look at this and not have a smile on my face. Oh my god. It's so good. We'll see you next time on Pole Barn Garage. One thing to note, I am going to try to pump out a video right after this one so you don't miss a week of content. But Jess and I are taking a vacation. We're going to the Southwest, down to Arizona. We're going to actually take a real vacation. I am going to film it. We'll put it on the second channel just for fun on Outside the Barn. I'm also going to be buying a car down there and maybe trying to drive home. I'm going to be doing some stuff. You will potentially miss a week of video. Just warning, we won't be dead, and we'll be back the following week. We'll see you guys.
Also, I forgot to plug my merch again, so please go to polebarnmerch.com, pretty please.